Welcome back to Just Talking. We have a great guest here today as well, and that's Joe Piscopo, who will be also performing this Sunday at the Pennoyer Park bandshell from 1 to 3 p.m., along with Laura Kepler and Miss America 2012. That's putting that on as well. And again, she's also a co-host of the Health Interrupted series. So, Joe, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Jason, I pulled over. I'm in New Jersey, and I'm driving on the Route 78 going back to my house from New York City, about an hour out of New York. And then the guy, Dave Damiani, on the show as well, so we're going to have a great time, in Kenosha. And I said, let me pull over because I'm not sure, but I think it's illegal to talk and drive at the same time. Everything's illegal in New Jersey. Come on, you get the, so here we are. I'm at this scenic overview. Watch, I'm going to do this for you. Look how pretty that is, huh?
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that, huh?
Very nice.
And see, you can see the high tension wires to the left and the beautiful New Jersey over to the right. That's my home state, man. And we're looking for. Listen, Wisconsin's beautiful. I've been out there before, working out there before at the Native American casinos. It's always hospitable, and we're excited to come out and and have some fun. By the way, great show. You got to be there, man. It's going to be swinging, and it's going to be a lot of fun, my friend.
Well, what now? Maybe those who don't know that you're now you're a comedian and actor, but you also sing as well, correct?
What's so funny? Just Saturday night, I did a concert called the Tunnel to Towers Never Forget concert, and it was at Jones Beach on Long Island, like in New York. So with Paul Schaefer and G.E. Smith, he used to play. He was the guy that led the SNL band. So Paul Schaefer I've known from day one back in SNL. And I would do the Frank Sinatra impression on Saturday Night Live. And Eddie and I would do, you are black and I am white. You are blind as a bat. I have to, so we used to have fun. So Paul Schaefer says to me, he goes, I'm not trying to look cool with the shades. The sun is actually bright. I'm talking to you with sunglasses on. So Paul says to me back then, all those years ago, Jason, 30, 40 years ago, he goes, Joe, you should go out and you should do a show with a band. And I said, what do you mean, Paul? He goes, you sound like Mr. S. You should go out and form a band. So I thought, all right. So Paul got me a guy that did arrangements. And for ever since then, I've been out we do comedy. I tell stories. We have video. We have a great time. And I love it. And I get across this beautiful country. We've been overseas as well. But we pay tribute to Frank Sinatra in a fun, respectful way with the music. And it's amazing. And Paul Schaefer was right, because it's amazing how Mr. Sinatra's music sustains after all these years, Yep.
You brought up Eddie Murphy. Have you ever thought of collaborating with him on a future project at all?
Yeah. I said, I listen, I'll tell you, when we started out together, he was a comic from Long Island. And I was just a kid from Jersey, and we hit it off and we became brothers instantly. Eddie has that personality. And then it was so great because all I ever wanted to be, Jason, was like what I'm doing now, a working entertainer. I do radio. We do radio on the weekend, and I do a weekday show on AM 970. We invite everybody to listen to AM 970, WABC on Sunday nights, Sundays with Sinatra, and I love it. Then I go out and across this great country, and that's all I ever wanted to do, to experience the meteoric rise of Eddie, and we were so close back then. It was the most fun, and I got to tell you, even more fun than that was being on live television with him, because you never knew where he was going, what was going to happen. And we didn't have a delay on SNL. So he goes, he would say, I'm going to do buckwheat. I go, well, isn't that politically correct? He goes, I don't care. I'm doing buckwheat. I went, all right, man, do buckwheat. It was great, And he was so funny. He would say, oh, I think I'm going to kill buckwheat. I said, Eddie, you can't do that on national television because it may not play. I'm killing buckwheat. You do Ted Koppel. I said, okay. It was a blast. So I stand at the ready. Anything. I have such immense respect for Eddie Murphy, for Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams. There's some great comic geniuses out there, and I've been fortunate enough to work with them, and would do it in a heartbeat if the opportunity presented itself.
Well, one thing I always loved is your impressions. I mean, they're just so spot on from Donahue to Jerry Lewis. I mean, cracking up. But not only the impressions, but the script. Did you put a lot of writing the comedy script in those impression?
Yeah. You know what? Every time I wrote something, it was with respect to whoever I was doing, you know, like with Frank Sinatra, I was very, very careful with the Frank Sinatra character because he's a hero. He's royalty, certainly in New Jersey. I have such immense respect for Tina Sinatra, the daughters, and Nancy, and the late Frank Jr., you know, so I respect the Sinatra name. But Mr. Sinatra was always so nice to me, you know. Hey, Joe, baby, how are you? He would talk like you would think he would talk to you, you know. Joe Piscopo, how are you doing, pal? Like I was like, wow, and he was always so nice. Yeah, he go, you're the vice chairman of the board, baby, like that. I was like, wow, man. So it was really good. So I would do the scripts and made sure I protected the Sinatra legacy. I was very aware of that, you know, or Jerry Lewis as well, you know, lady, you know. So it was Jerry was a hero to me. And it's a once you start doing Jerry, you just break into these Jerryisms. So Jerry Lewis hosts Saturday Night Live. They say he's host. I said, this is great. I was a mega fan always, Jerry Lewis. So this was the truth. So all of a sudden he's come. I hear Jerry's in the building. This is what I hear, right? And he's coming up the elevator. So so now I know where the elevator is. It's down. My office is down the hallway in the SNL studios on the 17th floor on NBC. And they said, Jerry's here. Is he here? So I hear down the hallway, the elevator door open, and I say, I swear to God, and I never met him before. Jerry, Jerry! He yells from the elevator, Joe Piscopo, hi! It was a love affair from day one, man. That guy was great. Rest his soul. And then Eddie came on, and Eddie be doing Jerry too, you know. And we did it together on the show. And it was, you know what? We had fun, but in those days, it was funny. We just tried to be funny. We didn't try to be mean, you know. And it was all with great respect. But yeah, I did. I wrote a lot of that stuff. Even for Ronald Reagan, they'd make me do Ronald Reagan. And, you know, I don't know that I agreed with him politically at the time. And they would have me do when Ronald Reagan invaded Grenada, you know, and we make fun, kind of say, well, next I'm going into Switzerland, you know. So we would have fun with it because what was Grenada? We couldn't figure. Then I got invited to the White House. Listen, I got invited, Jason, I'm like 28 years old. I get to the White House. Ronald Reagan is there. And I'll tell you what, I met that guy. He was changed my whole life, changed my whole political outlook. A lot of the stuff we do on the radio on AM is political, and it comes from me meeting and shaking hands with the Gipper, the one and only. What a great guy. So again, we had fun with it. Yes, I wrote it, but I was always very respectful.
Well, when I told people the word got out, Joe Piscopo is coming to Kenosha, believe it or not, a lot of people say, Johnny Dangerously, right? And they just, one of the funnest movies. Did you have fun with that? I especially Amy Heckerling, I think, directed that.
Yeah. Amy Heckerling directed. That's right. Amy, great. What a talented gal. And Michael Keaton, the best. So we had a blast because that was really my first big kind of film. And I went out there and didn't know how to, and it was in Los Angeles. It was on the, I think it was on the Warner Brothers lot there, and or the Fox lot. And we just had a blast. We would laugh all the time because Michael and I would always do little inside jokes, you know. If I remember there was like a body that was laying down, and I had to do an exchange as Danny Verman saying, "Hey Johnny, you know you shouldn't do that. My mother hung me on a hook one." But then I remember I put my foot on the body, on the person that was about just out of camera range, and we would just break up laughing. And working with Danny DeVito when we did Wise Guys, but also Danny was in Johnny Dangerously too. It was what a great cast. Dom DeLuise, Richard Dimitri, who played he played Maroni. Remember that character? Oh, yeah. I don't know that we can say it, but he danced around the you know profanity where you can actually say it on broadcast television, for example. Right. Hysterical, Richard Dimitri. So that was a gas, man. Danny Verman, baby. I remember that.
Absolutely terrific. So as far as the concert that's coming up, you'll be sort of doing some Sinatra stuff?
You know what? I am so excited because Dave Damiani is the guy that put it together, and he said, he goes, "You coming out?" And so I gotta see because we're doing. Isn't Haley Reinhardt on the show too,
Yes.
Jason?
Yep. Yep.
Haley,
Absolutely.
and Laura and Aaron. And so great, but you got to hear Haley, man, and Eugene Landau Murphy. I know you talked to him, and Donnie Most is like great on stage, man. People
Yeah.
don't know. He did Grease, I did Grease. And then I got to meet him and he jumped on stage with me and we had a blast. So we're all together on it. The band that our buddy Dave Damiani put together, the No Vacancy Orchestra. These cats can play. You see that Sinatra-ism in there, right there? I call them cats. Like, you know, these cats are cuckoo, Jason. Let me tell you something, baby. You know, so you know, and we're gonna have the best band, and I'm glad that we're doing it because it's time to get out there. We're gonna go, we're gonna go and just have some fun, Oshkosh, and then Kenosha. I have friends in Wisconsin, and we're gonna have a blast. And then I'm taking my son, and he's playing the Ale House in Oshkosh. He's like an up and coming Stevie Ray Vaughan. My people, we make the sign of the cross. I don't mean to jinx it. He's doing so well, my son Mikey, but he'll be with me as well. So maybe we'll have him open in Kenosha. It's going to be anything can happen, all out, a lot of fun. God bless America. We're from the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. There's so many great people out there. We're such a great people, Americans, you know, and it's nice to get out there and to celebrate this great country. And that's the best part about getting out, you know, to Wisconsin. It's like, hey man, this is America and the people are nice and we'll be working hard on stage for you and having a great time.
Well, I got to come out to Long Island too because I've been a lifelong Billy Joel fan, and they just so we thank you for coming out to Kenosha, Wisconsin on once again it's Sunday, August 29th from 1 to 3 p.m.
Right. It's Sunday. You're right. Wow, already. We'll be there,
Yeah,
man. And we'll try to get some tickets. Try to get some tickets to Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden. He starts up in November. That's quite a show.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For you, is there, if people want to see like your upcoming concert schedule or anything, do you have like a website or social media that people look?
Thank you, Jason. Yes, sir. You go to joepiscopo.us, just like that, joepiscopo.us, and then you'll see all the where we are, and it's heating up. As a matter of fact, I'm on a cruise with the Beach Boys in like March. How about that? How cool is that?
Wow.
So we're gonna have some fun. You know, I'll be the comic relief with one of the great bands of all time, the Beach Boys, and then we're running right through some appearances. And you can see if we're around the area and as we get out across the country, we'd love for you to come see us. joepiscopo.us, and the schedule just went up a couple days ago.
Well, we'll definitely look forward to that. Joe, thank you so much for talking with us today, and we'll look forward to the senior concert coming up on Sunday. And thank you so much for talking with us today.
Look at that, Jason. Cufflinks. We got a little tab collar, Frank
Sinatra.
Oh,
nice.
Fly me to the moon. Let me swing among the stars. You better get ready, Jason. We're going to be singing with you on stage, buddy. We're going to put you on stage with us. All right?
Sounds good. Thank you so much.